Defense looked tremendous.
Yep.
Being down in the secondary with Marlon out, I thought Ronald Darby coming off and being fresh to the team, I liked how he played.
Yeah.
I thought the defensive line was tremendous, even though we know the Texans' offensive line is a question mark. They held the Texans to 3.1 yards per carry. Dameon Pierce earned his yards yesterday.
Yeah.
And also the fact that some of these young pass rushers for the Ravens were getting home, causing problems. And Roquan Smith, talk about a deal that he was worth every bit. And I know they're saying linebackers shouldn't be paid. That dude earned it, and that defense continues to feel different and look different when he's on the field.
Worth every penny in the draft pick. I also wanted to point out that Roquan, speaking of, had the most week 1 tackles, with 15 than any other Raven linebacker in the franchise.
That's including Ray Lewis,
yes,
right?
Correct. So and Terrell Suggs. So that's incredible. It's an incredible number.
Yeah.
And so there's lots to like on the defense. Yeah, the secondary is a bit iffy, but I mentioned this on Twitter. I don't know if we talked about it here on the show, but I think we did, about the being strong within the trenches. Yeah, we're gonna see some issues in the secondary, especially as we face tougher quarterbacks. CJ Stroud obviously wasn't one of those guys that anybody was really all that worried about in the secondary, but we start to see some of the quarterbacks we have, coming up, such as Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and some of the other, and Tua, which we're going to talk about here. We all have to face this year. So it'll be interesting to see how the secondary can hold up. But man, getting to that quarterback is super important. And the team that we have in the trenches right now can get to them. And they proved that yesterday for sure.
Well, and that's Ravens football right there, right?
Yep.
It's being strong in the trenches, being able to disrupt. And if we're going to talk about this game in a minute here, but you want to talk about where you can feel the impacts, go look at the 49ers and the Eagles defensive lines.
Yeah.
When you can control it and just shut down one element of a team's game, it opens up everything else. And the 49ers and Eagles have stacked defensive lines. And so for the Ravens, very positive that they came out there. They did what they were supposed to do. They got a win. The Bengals are obviously going to come and play a better game than they did against the Cleveland Browns. But for the Ravens, a lot to be happy with. The fact that didn't allow a touchdown. And last thing, I'll close with the game. CJ Stroud, I really like the guy's makeup.
Yeah.
I thought, we talked about it during the game, looked a little bit rattled to start, but he made some really great throws in tough windows and situations. And I think as he gets more comfortable with using his legs, which like he did at the game against Georgia in the national semifinal in college, I think you're going to see the evolution, and I think they're going to have a good quarterback in Houston for years to come.